In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good morning. Welcome. Special welcome to our visitors and guests. Might seem to be a little too soon to talk about, but one cold winter day, a father took his son for a walk. The boy had an overcoat with deep pockets into which he plunged his hands to keep them warm. When they came to a slippery place, the father suggested, "My son, you better hold my hand." The youngster did not listen, but kept his hands in his pockets until he fell on the ice, which shook his confidence. At times, each one of us has probably preferred the warm pockets of our own earthly creature comforts until we hit an icy patch in life and realize we need to hold on to someone's hand. Whose hand are we going to reach for? In today's gospel reading from the 7th Sunday of Luke, which Deacon Theodore just read, Jairus was the ruler of the local synagogue, and his only daughter was gravely ill. Before Jesus could reach her or come to her, she died. When Jesus arrived, it says that he took her by the hand and called, saying, "Little girl, arise." Father Anthony Jairus, in his book, "This is My Beloved Son, Listen to Him," reminds us that this is not the only time Jesus reached out his hand to heal someone. We remember Jesus helping the leper, Peter's mother-in-law, the deaf and mute man, the blind man of Bethesda, and the demon-possessed boy, and as well, the Apostle Peter, who began to sink into the waves. And it says that Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him. The reality is that God is always reaching out his hand to us. St. Irenaeus, a church father from the 2nd century, says that God the Father has two hands constantly stretched out to us, beckoning us to take hold of them. One hand, he says, is Jesus. The other hand is the Holy Spirit. Thus, the entire Holy Trinity is reaching out to embrace us in love. But whose hand are we holding? Father Jairus reminds us that prayer is reaching out our hand in faith to grasp the already outstretched hands of God the Father. Now think about it. Our life began with our mother caressing us with her hands while still inside of her womb. When we were born, the doctor received us and held us in his hands and then turned us immediately over to the hands of our mother. When we were baptized, the priest took us up in his hands and put us into the blessed waters, and then handed us to our godparent to begin our new life in Christ. In the sacrament of marriage, the priest, with his own hand, joins the right hands of the bride and groom, and then later leads them in the Isagia Choreve, the dance of Isaiah, around the table, holding their hands. In all of these tangible, sacramental ways, God reaches out his hands to us, but whose hand are we holding? The prophet Isaiah, who was speaking God's word to the people of Israel, says, "All day long I have held out my hands to a disobedient and contrary people." And why is it that we sometimes hesitate to reach out our hands to God's hands? St. Paul gives us a clue when he writes in Romans 10, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God." Why is it fearful? Why would we be afraid? Because we're probably afraid to give up control. We often have more confidence in our own abilities than in God's power. We trust sometimes more in the words of earthly people than in the voice from heaven. However, if we trust Christ as Lord and Master of our life, we have nothing to fear. Jesus told Jairus in today's gospel reading, when he heard that his daughter had died, he said, "Do not be afraid, only believe, and she will be made well." Father Jairus notes Jesus saying in John chapter 10, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand." And again, the prophet Isaiah says, "See, I have been," speaking for God, he says, "I see, I have inscribed, or I've written you upon the palm of my hands." We sometimes worry about everywhere else our name will be written except in the palm of God's hands, as well as in what will be written in the book of life. David the prophet and king wrote, "Nevertheless, I am continually with you. You hold my right hand." Again, Isaiah the prophet, "For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, do not fear, I will help you." Therefore, Father Jairus says that faith is not merely our holding on to God. It is even more so, or more importantly, God holding on to us. He says, quote, "When we are troubled and anxious, reach out for the hand of Jesus. Let him put his arms around you. And once embraced by those everlasting arms, we need never worry about anything again. He will either shield us from the suffering, or he will give us unfailing strength to bear it." To all our parents, godparents, grandparents, we have all embraced our children in our arms. We have all taken them by the hand to lead them. But have we truly turned them over to the loving embrace of God? Have we led them to a personal knowledge of and a relationship with Jesus Christ? We may have prayed for them from time to time, but have we taught them? Have we showed them how to acquire the Holy Spirit through worship and prayer? In the Divine Liturgy, the bread and the wine are received from the hands of the faithful by the priest's hand, who then offers them to God on the holy altar table. And then, during the anaphora, the prayer of the high prayer of consecration, the priest says, "Come and sanctify us, and let your pure body and your precious blood be given to us by your mighty hand, and through us to all your people." And soon after that, the priest and the deacon, holding the chalice in their hands, beckon the faithful to come forth and receive the Eucharist from the spoon which is held in the hand of the priest. Father Cornelius notes, what is the Eucharist but the reaching out to grasp not just the hand, but the whole of Christ in both the body and the blood, that he may make us his living presence in the world. But holding God's hand must be done with faith, because while our hand may be in his hand, our heart can still be far away. Let me close with the story that Father Cornelius relates. He says, a devout Christian wife was on her deathbed with a terminal illness. Her husband sat beside her while she said, I have taken many trips in my life, but there was always someone with me. My mother and father were there when I was small. Now you, my husband, are with me. But on this trip, referring to her death, she says, who is going to hold my hand? And her husband, gently holding her hand, said, here is my hand, and as soon as Jesus comes for you, I will surrender your hand to his hand. You will not be alone. In this life, my brothers and sisters, we have many opportunities to hold each other's hands, and we do so with supportive love. Let us also learn how to hold God's hand and to teach others so. And even better yet, let us learn how to be held in the hands of God. Amen.